Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanny. If you are new here, welcome. On today's video, I'll be ranking every Saw movie, all 10 of them. Last weekend, I saw Saw 10 or Saw X, and I really liked it. It was refreshing to see a good Saw movie because the last few have not been as great. So I felt inspired and I watched every single Saw movie throughout the week. I finished last night. So today I'm going to be ranking them and recapping all of them. So the categories that I'll be using to rank them are the top one, the absolute best will be give them an Oscar. That's how good they were. I was engaged. It was entertaining. It was everything that you would want on a thriller or a horror movie. So give them an Oscar. That's how good it was. Below that is, it was good, you know, take my money. I'm gonna watch it. I enjoyed it. It was good. In the middle, we have brand loyalty because, you know, I only went to see it because it was a Saw movie and I like all the Saw movies. So it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that great. I was only there for brand loyalty. Okay? Below that is, who asked for this? Seriously, who asked for this movie? Because it was not necessary to the franchise, and I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea to make it. And last is deleted. This is trash. This is not good, and I'm sorry if one of your favorite falls under deleted, but that's how I felt about that particular movie. So we're gonna start with the very first one. Before I begin, please subscribe to my channel. I'm currently at 666 and I don't like that number. So if you could help me out by subscribing, even if it's just one person, so it could be 667, because I don't like 666. So if you could help me out, I'm working towards growing the channel. I post content, movie content and New York City content. So if you're into that, please subscribe to the channel and help me grow. All right, let's begin. The first one, Saw, the very first one. This is where the movie began. The very first one is where it all began. We met Jigsaw, John Kramer. We didn't really meet him because he was barely in the movie. He was laying in the ground the whole time and we didn't even think it was him, that he was the killer. This is the one where this is the best plot twist ever in a movie. I was like, what? The killer wasn't part of the plot. He was like mentioned once, he was like an extra. So when that man got up from the bathroom, I was in shock. So for that, I'm gonna give Saw an Oscar. Give them the Oscar. That's how good it was, okay? Do not give the Oscar to the photographer, the guy that played the photographer. I forgot his name. I'm gonna insert his name right here. But he's also the one that wrote the movie. His acting was not the best. There's this one scene where, so the whole point of the game, his test is to stay alive, and the doctor, his test is to kill him. So the doctor finds this cigarette, and there's a note in there pretty much saying that the cigarette is poison, to, you know, give it to the photographer. And then they come up with this plan that he's gonna fake give him the cigarette. Anyways, so he pretends that he's like smoking and he's like dying, and it was so over the top. And I don't know if it was the character like pretending to die or this is the actual actor pretending to pretend to die, but it was so bad. It was so obvious. Aside from his acting, this was really good. So I will give it an Oscar. All right, we move on to Saw 2. This is the nerve gas house where we have 6 or 7 people in there. This is the one where the detectives son is inside the game with like 6 other people that he, the detective, wrongfully put in jail. This is also the one where they throw Amanda into the needle pit, and that was awful to rewatch. The good thing about rewatching all of this that I completely forgot what they were about. I mean, I knew what they were about, but it was nice to kind of watch it from the again, and it was like watching it from the beginning all over again, because I forgot about that needle pit, and when that happened, I was like, oh my god, and that's what everyone talks about. Anyways, and Amanda was actually put into this one just so people could follow the rules and play the game, but people were just going crazy. Another thing about this one, Xavier, which is like the bad big guy, he's like going around trying to see everybody's number in the back so he could have the combination. And I was actually trying to remember each number. And by the time it got to the next person, I had already forgotten because so much had happened. So how did he remember all the numbers when he was high on this nerve gas? Also, he had to put it in the order of the rainbow, which I don't even know what the order is. Anyways, I don't know how he did that. But 2, I say, because we were all still in that high of like, so 1 was so good. Oh my god, what are they going to do next? I say Saw 2, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good to for the franchise. I mean, as a sequel, it was a good story. This is where they caught him, John Kramer. And he played all of them. And then the game actually happened, but they had the police was watching a recording of it and they thought it was happening live. So it was good. I enjoyed it. So Saw 2, it was good. It's worth watching. Moving on to Saw 3. Okay, Saw 3, this is the one where they kidnap a doctor to keep John Kramer alive for the duration of the game that's happening right now. The person that's being tested is the doctor's husband, but she doesn't know this. She just knows that she has to keep John Kramer alive while her husband, who's depressed because his son was killed, is being tested. And all the people in his game are the people that were kind of involved with his child dying, like the guy that hit the kid, the driver that killed his son, the eyewitness, the judge that gave the son, and I mean the killer of the son, just like 6 months in jail. So his task was like, save them, live or die. You can kill them or save them. In this one, Jigsaw is also testing Amanda to see if she's worthy of being his apprentice, because on the second one, was it the second one? No, on this one, she kept making all these traps that were not beatable. She was just killing people and he was not having it. He didn't like that. So he was testing her to see if she was worthy. But then pretty much Amanda fails, she dies. Jigsaw, this is where he dies. Pretty much everybody dies. The doctor dies. So this one, I would say, oh, and this one also, if the writer of Jigsaw, I mean of the series, this is the one he says is the final chapter for him. I think he made a tweet about like, for him it ended in Saw 3, that he doesn't know about any of the other characters that are happening right now. But for him, it ended in Saw 3, which is this one. So I would say, you know, for Saw 3, I'm gonna say I enjoyed it. This is more brand loyalty to me. It was a good film, but it was more for brand loyalty. It was okay. Moving on to Saw 4. Okay, I'm in between with this one, with who asked for this and deleted, because Saw 4 is happening at the same time as Saw 3. But when this came out, I didn't know that. I actually learned this last week. While I was doing my Saw marathon, I was also watching like Saw recaps and There was this one video that I watched, it's like an hour long, but it pretty much breaks down the whole timeline of all the Saw movies, which was really good actually. And I learned that Saw 3 and 4 are happening at the same time. So at first it didn't hit me until like later when I saw the guy from the first one, the one that was being tested, the husband. But for the most of it, I was like, what is going on? There was too many plot twists between 4, I'm gonna get to 5, but there's like plot twist after plot. You know, I'm gonna say deleted. We don't need 4. 3 and 4 should have been one movie. They could have made it like 2.5 hours. I'm gonna say 4 deleted. We don't need this movie. They should have just combined 3 and 4 and made it into one movie. I know they just wanted to make money because for a while there, we were all suckers for it, and we just kept going to the theaters to watch what John Kramer was going to do next. But after watching it back to back, deleted. It could have been one movie, okay? Also, Jigsaw is dying. He is in his deathbed. This man is testing a whole village. Amanda, the doctor, her husband, all the people inside the trial of the husband, the game that he's playing. Hoffman, I think he's testing as well. And in this one, Lieutenant Rick, which he's been in all the movies up until now. He was part of the SWAT team. And now in this one, he's the one being tested. So he's testing him, plus the people in his game, which were all horrible people, by the way. All the people in the traps in Rick and the Lieutenant Rick's in his game were all awful people. So they deserved it. So John Kramer is over here testing everybody and their mother while he's dying. I don't know how he had so much strength, but deleted, okay? Just combine 3 and 4 into one movie. Moving on to Saw 5, okay? This is another one. Too many plot twists. There was too much going on. I'm gonna say who asked for this, okay? Who asked for 5? Because I know, because again, they were trying to make money. I get it. But who asked for this, okay? There's too much going on. This is another one that I was like, this is pretty much a recap of 3 and 4 through the perspective of what is this guy's name? Detective Strahan? Oh, Strahan? I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, detective. But we're pretty much he's finding out that Hoffman is Jigsaw, is working with Jigsaw. So he's pretty much recapping 3 and 4 while a game is happening. So we learned that Hoffman was trying to be a copycat, a Jigsaw copycat, and he was making these traps to get revenge on like his sister's killer, and he's making it out to look like it was Jigsaw, and Jigsaw didn't like this. So he put him in the trap, but then Hoffman became his apprentice, technically his first apprentice, but I'm not sure if he was his first. I'll get into it in a second, but we learned that Hoffman first was a copycat, and then he became Jigsaw's apprentice, and it was helping him set up all these traps. In this one, 5 people are in a game. They're all like involved in real estate somehow. They were shady. I forgot what they did, but this one, they were supposed to work together, but they thought that they were supposed to kill each other. Because at one point, one of the traps, there was 3 tunnels, and they thought only like 3 people needed to go on. But they could have fit, like 2 people could have fit into one tunnel, but they were so stressed out that they thought they had to kill each other. Not until the last trap, which was awful. Oh my God, just thinking about it, I'm like, ugh. Where they realized, OMG, we were supposed to work together. Anyways, they survived. 2 people survived. Strahan finds out that Hoffman is Jigsaw, or an accomplice to Jigsaw. And then Hoffman pretty much sets it up that people think Strahan, I'm sorry, I keep messing up his name, but the other detective was the killer. was Jigsaw's apprentice. So this one, what did I say? Oh, who asked for this? I don't know why this was necessary. The half of the movie is the other guy, the other detective, recapping 3 and 4 as he realizes that Hoffman is working with Jigsaw. So who asked for this? I didn't. Okay, Saw 6. Saw 6, I actually like this one. I'm gonna say it was good. I'm going to say Saw 6 was good. This is the one with the insurance company, okay? What I like about this one is similar to Saw 10, there was more Jigsaw. John Kramer was in it a lot more because it was more connected to him. It was about the guy that ran this insurance company and he just created his own formula to deny people coverage. So he denied coverage for John and John was pissed off. It was more of a commentary on the insurance, the health insurance here in the United States, I'm guessing, but it was really good. The main subject of the person going on trial is the guy that that denied John Kramer coverage. So he's like, I want to play a game. And a good game it was. Going into this one, I had low expectations because I had just seen 4 and 5 and I was like, what are they gonna do with this one? I had low expectations, but they surprised me and it was really good. I enjoyed it. In this one, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like 5, 6 people that are being tested. No, actually there's like 10 people that are being in the games, in traps, and then the main guy, the insurance guy, has to go through each trap and make a decision based on the policy that he created, like who lives or who dies, pretty much. And there was 3 people that I thought was like, wow, that's unfair. Okay, they're innocent. They have nothing to do with this. There was a few other, like the lawyer, she deserved it, and there was 5 people that worked with the insurance guy that they were the ones that were always finding out, looking for like a mistake on applications to turn it down. So they deserved it. But there's one guy, the first one, he's the janitor. Okay, I know like Jigsaw, his whole thing is that people need to be appreciative of their lives and take care of their body and yada, yada, yada. So his only sin, this guy, the first trap, is the janitor that worked at the insurance company because he smoked and he suffers from like he's diabetic and has all these other issues and he smokes. I was like, oh, that's unfair. Okay, smoking is an addiction. And then there was another trap where they had 2 people that the guy had to determine who lives and who dies. It was an elderly lady who she had a family, but she suffers from she was diabetic and she was sick. And then the other guy is this guy who worked, he was a file clerk and he didn't have any family. He didn't have anyone here. And I was thinking, the guy, he seems to be like a person of color. So maybe he just moved to the United States and he didn't have the first job that he got was like as a file clerk here. Like he just needed a job. And here's Jigsaw. Oh, he doesn't have anyone. Let's kill him. I didn't like that. Then the last trap, it's a mother and a son, and they are the wife and child of an individual that the guy denied insurance to that ended up dying. So Jigsaw was nice, and even though he like kidnapped them and put them in this cell, he's like, I apologize for this treatment that you've endured, which was nice. At least he apologized for kidnapping them. So at the end, like the mom and dad decide if the guy from the insurance live or die, and then they decided that he dies. So I really liked 6. They did a good job with 6, and I think it's because there was more John Kramer, and John Kramer it was a little more personal. And this is where the FBI finds out that Hoffman works with Jigsaw, and then Hoffman kills 2 FBI agents and this other lady that was like breaking down the sound, the tape that he sent. Anyways, I liked 6. It was good. Moving on to Saw 7 or Saw 3D, which is supposed to be the final chapter. That was a lie because there's been 3 more since this one. So this was not the final chapter. I think this was supposed to be the final chapter, but then they were like, no, let's just make more money. So I'm going to say it's a combination between who asked for this movie and just deleted. Okay, it wasn't that good. I'm gonna say deleted. I didn't care for this movie. This is the one where we open up with a public trap in daylight. I think this is when the whole torture I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube, but torture right here. It was like a thing because it opens up with a trap. Hoffman was just testing people left and right. It was in daylight. And then there was another trap with some racist people. In this one, the main subject is a guy that has been pretending to be a survivor of the Jigsaw traps. He wrote a book about it. He's going on this tour. This is where Jigsaw makes a minor appearance wearing a baseball cap backwards. This is the de-aging that they did. So Jigsaw shows up and he's like, oh, so we've met, huh? So he kidnaps him and puts him in a game. And the people in the traps are people that helped him make money with his lies. Like his publicist, his lawyer. His girlfriend was only with him because he's like famous now, but she really didn't know he was lying. He thought it was true the whole time. So, I mean, I don't know why she had to suffer. She died. Spoiler alert. But it was everyone that helped him. He survives, but he has to see his girlfriend die in front of him. So this one, oh, did I say deleted? Oh yeah. Deleted. This was not necessary. Why? This is a lie. It was like the final chapter. You know, I'm starting to agree. I feel like 6 should have been 4, and 3 and 4 should have been 1, and should have ended at 6. Maybe 6 should have been 7, and 10 should have been. Okay, let me keep going. But Saw 3D, deleted. We didn't need it. Moving on to Jigsaw, okay? Immediately, who asked for this? I'm kind of torn between brand loyalty and who asked for it, because I did go see it because I was like, you know, it's a Saw movie. Plus, this is 7 years later. Like the last one we had was in 2010, and then this one came out in 2017. Yeah, this one came out in 2017. And then the one before that was like 2010. So I was curious to see what they were going to do. So I'm gonna change it to see brand loyalty. I only watched it because it was a Jigsaw game. It was a Jigsaw movie. I mean, a Saw movie. And even though they lied to me and said that 7 was the final chapter, liars. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. This is the barn games, okay? This is where it's out of order, but we go back and forth between a real game that happened 10 years ago with Jigsaw. This is the actual first games that he had before the bathroom scenes, before the Saw 1. And we go, and then the detectives are investigating an imitation game that one of Jigsaw's apprentices is doing in the present time. So what we're watching is the first original games that happened 10 years prior to this timeline, but we don't know that until the end. And then the dead bodies that are showing up is from this imitation games that's happening in current time. These traps are 60 seconds. You have like 60 seconds to get out. This is another one that you kind of have to work together. Oh, no. Yeah, kind of have to work together. But they all have 60 seconds. That's not enough time. I would die. And then we find out, oh, and this is what I was thinking, was like Hoffman was supposed to be the first apprentice, but in this one, the guy that mixed up John Kramer's X-rays, he was in the games, the original games, but he fell asleep and he woke up too late, and John was like, I'll give you a second chance. So he made him an apprentice. So I'm kind of confused is Hoffman the first real apprentice, or is this guy, I forgot his name, the doctor, another doctor. Was he the real first apprentice? So he's still alive. So I wonder if like maybe if they do a Saw 11, it might be around him because he's still alive. Anyways, we find out that he's an apprentice. Might be the first or second apprentice. I'm not sure. But these games, each trap, they have 60 seconds. That's not enough time. So this one, although it was okay, I didn't hate it. Brand loyalty. I watched it because it's Jigsaw, and it was 7 years later. We needed a Saw movie. I'm sure the filmmakers were like, let's make some money. We haven't made any in a while. So brand loyalty. Then they were moving on to Spiral. This is the one with Chris Rock. I would say who asked for this, but I know who asked for this. Chris Rock wanted a Saw movie. He's a big fan. I saw an interview with one of the writers. And the studio says, sure, here's $20 million, go make a Saw movie. And he made Spiral. I would say because again, I'm a fan of Saw and I like Chris Rock. I'm gonna say brand loyalty. It was okay. It was all right. It was a good movie to watch if you like the Saw franchise. What I didn't like about this movie is that the voice, it was not as intimidating. They used a different voice that didn't really have that oomph that John Kramer has. It's like there wasn't a lot of pizzazz when he says, I want to play a game. It was not really, I didn't like it. So I also didn't like, I prefer Billy the puppet, the little, the one that they use in all the Saw movies. This one they use a pig as the puppet, representing like the police officers, because this one's when the Jigsaw copycat killer, he's going after dirty police officers and he's killing police officers. This one also had a more modern vibe to it. Like it looked different than all the other ones. It looked like a higher production. I did love the, there's a song that they played during the credit scene. I really like that song. I don't know who sings that song. I'm gonna find out and put it here somewhere. But I did like that song. But overall, that one, I would say brand loyalty. I watched it because, I like Chris Rock. I'm a fan of the Saw franchise. So it was okay. It was just okay. And finally, we have Saw 10. They went back to basics. I say give it an Oscar. Give them an Oscar. It was so good. I was so happy with it. That's why I'm making this video, because it inspired me to watch all of them again and be creative. But they just went back to basics. This one takes place between 1 and 2. Poor John Kramer, he gets taken advantage of. He pays $250,000 for some procedure that's gonna help cure his cancer, and it was a lie. So he decides to play a game with everyone that took advantage of him, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. This one, they had 3 minutes, which was this was a lot more time. Although these people, they just took way too much time to decide to do the traps. I think there was one survivor. Another one survived, but she was killed by this awful woman. But I love this one. Give it an Oscar. And Tobin Bell, this is after 10 movies. He was so good in this movie. Like, they should really try to push for an Oscar for him, because he finally embodied John Kramer, and he was great. Like, from the beginning to now, like after watching them back to back, you can see the progression and the growth. And he finally embodied that character, and he was just so good. And Amanda too. Amanda was so good in this one. The actress that played her. So I would say give it an Oscar. So my final ranking. So 1 and 10 are the absolute best of the franchise. The first and the last one. Give them the Oscar, okay? Followed by 2 and 6. They were really good. 2 was good. I enjoyed it. 6 was also really good. Then These were just okay. I watched them for brand loyalty. I enjoyed it, but you know. Saw 3, Jigsaw, and Spiral. They were just okay. Brand loyalty. And really, who asked for 5? I did not ask for it. It was not necessary. You know, 3 and 4 should have been, I mean, no, 3. Yeah, 3 and 4 should have been one movie. And 5, who asked for that movie? I didn't need it. And finally, Saw 7, Saw 3Z, the final chapter, Lies. And what is this one? Oh, and Saw 4. Oh, yeah. Saw 4 and Saw 7, deleted. We don't need it. 4 and 3 should have been one movie. Saw 7, Saw 3D. We didn't need that. They only did that movie because this is when like 3D was popping off and people, everything was 3D. They were like, let's make a Saw movie in 3D. I remember thinking, how is that gonna work? And it didn't work. Anyways, those are my rankings. Comment down below if you're a fan of the franchise, which one's your favorite, which one's your least favorite. Share your opinion down below. Thank you so much for watching. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Help me grow the channel. And please, I don't want to have 666 as a number for long. So please subscribe to the channel. Let me just be 667. I don't want to be 666. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Until next time, bye.